I don't think there's a game series that's more designed to cause maximum confusion than Eggerland. Starting out as computer puzzle games, every subsequent Eggerland game on a new platform has brought in a different mix of old and new stages. Eggerland Souzou he no Tabidachi is the slightest Eggerland game so far, just 50 consecutive stages compared to the network of hundreds of puzzle rooms in previous games. But it also might be the most accessible. If you're wondering why such a small Eggerland game exists, and where its box art went, this was released to the Disk Rewriter kiosk, the service where you would take your old Famicom Disk System games in, and for 500 yen would get new games written to the disk. At this point, the Disk Rewriter service no longer provided cover art for the games, so the only art associated with Souzou he no Tabidachi is the disc label. As for why this game exists, well, HAL had just released, about 2 months before this, an Eggerland game for Famicom cartridges. And one thing that they couldn't get onto those cartridges was the edit mode. That's where the subtitle for this comes from. This is essentially Eggerland Maker. You get 50 sample stages, and then there's 16 save files on the floppy where you can write your own stages to. The interface is pretty straightforward and usable. Hitting select rotates through the menu on the right-hand side, showing you the different options for items to place. Highlighting something and hitting A will switch to that tile, and then putting the cursor over that section of the map and hitting A will place that tile. I think my only real complaint about the editor is that it doesn't really offer you any feedback on what you've selected. Of course, it's so simple and straightforward you could just remember what you've selected, and if you do screw up, it's trivial to fix it. So all in all, a good editor. But what is the point of Eggerland stages? Why would you want to make them? Well, Eggerland is a puzzle game, and it is in the style of various block-pushing games. Or at least, the most common way that you'll solve problems is pushing blocks around. Your goal on every stage is to collect all of the heart tiles, and when you do this, the treasure chest will vanish and be replaced by a key. Collect the key to end the stage. And obviously, there's a whole bunch of obstacles that get in your way. Some of them are constantly active the entire time that you're playing, and some of them don't activate until you've collected that final heart tile. Most stages consist of figuring out how to prevent yourself from getting shot while you collect something, or how to trap monsters so that you won't be run down once you advance the stage. Knowing the enemy patterns is a real key to doing well in this game. Which ones will charge at you and stop dead, which ones will shoot any time that you're in their line of sight, and which ones are just harmless blockers. As you collect the heart tiles, sometimes you'll get power-ups. There are shots that you can take by pressing the A button that will bubble up enemies, and enemies that are bubbled will eventually break free, or you could shoot them again and they'll fly away, though they will reappear in their original position after about 30 seconds, something that you occasionally have to take advantage of in order to solve puzzles. Bubbled enemies can also be pushed around and shoved into water where they'll act as a raft, floating in the currents and letting you reach out-of-the-way places. Some stages have special items that you can use after you collect enough heart tiles. You use these items by hitting the A button. There's a hammer that can smash through solid walls, making a new path for you, or ladders that will make a bridge over water. There's also special ground tiles that you need to watch out for, like the ones with arrows on them. You can't enter from the direction opposite of the arrow, and grass tiles where enemies can't enter them at all, though you could always push things over those tiles. You're playing as Lolo, the cute little blue guy, and for once in Eggerland Souzou he no Tabidachi, you are not rescuing Lala, Lolo's girlfriend, wife, fiancé, I guess it depends on the game. There's just no story to this game at all. It exists as a set of levels and a stage editor. And even those levels feel a lot more like examples rather than stages intended to challenge you. I played for an hour and got to the halfway mark of this game. And in that time, only 2 stages challenged me at all. You can jump to any stage that you've completed and save your progress, but it almost feels unnecessary here. The Eggerland series has plenty of fans in Japan, but even among them, Souzou he no Tabidachi is the "oh yeah, that exists" game. As a disc writer only release, and as the smallest Eggerland game, this doesn't get a lot of attention. But that said, it is where I'd recommend people start if they just want to check out the series. It's a relatively easy, no-pressure way to try it out. I like the series a lot, but some of the puzzles can be pretty mean in the other games. While here you're making constant progress, and the stages are really acting more as demonstrations of game concepts than real challenges. This is an Eggerland sampler, and I think it works well for that, but it's not an Eggerland game that fans of the series would regularly go back to.